Hi, Ava Brown here, and I want to talk to you about 21 keys to a more enriching and successful life for 2015. So, how would you like to be, getting 21 keys, very small chunk size keys that you can use to impact on enriching your life to make it more successful? I believe that we all have got the capacity and the potential to enrich our lives. And sometimes we may just be surprised at some of the things that we can do that are all so simple to change our lives, make our lives more enriched and fulfilled. The first one I want to ask you to do for me in order to change your life and make it more enriching is to discover your purpose. Now, you may ask me, what do I mean by this? What does it mean to discover your purpose? And I'm sure that perhaps some of us have never even stopped to ask ourselves that question. I didn't ask myself that question until about 3, 4 years ago when I just was stuck and I wasn't sure where I was heading, and I had to ask myself, what is my purpose on this world? What is my purpose in this country? What is my purpose in life? And until we can discover what our purpose is, what we were made to do, and what we're made to be great at, we are not going to be living enriched lives. So get out there, assess your life, and discover what your purpose is. The moment I discovered my purpose, I started to change the course of my direction because where I was heading was not quite where I intended to be after I discovered what my true purpose on this earth was. The second thing I want you to do is to follow your passion. Now, a lot of us are in jobs, and I know it's hard and it's tough and it's economically challenging. I know. But there are those of us who are in jobs that we totally don't like, for example, and we could do better at jobs that we actually have a passion for. So let us say, for example, you're very artistic and you're stuck behind a job that has you crunching figures. Why not get up from that desk of crunching figures? Go and get yourself retrained as an art teacher, an artist perhaps, or to do something that actually deduces, takes out, shows, highlights, markets your passion. Because you'll not just be doing your passion as a hobby, but you'll be doing what you love for a lifetime. So the second point again is to follow your passion, doing something you like doing, because there's nothing more enriching and fulfilling as when you are doing something that you actually enjoy. Think about something you enjoy doing. Some people like to hoover, it relaxes them. Some people like to iron. I certainly love to iron because it's just that space and the time when I get to think. I love to go for long drives. So for a long time, I had a driving job in Jamaica. I was driving all over the country because it gave me a chance to think. I was doing my passion. Get out there and do something that you're passionate about and turn it into a job. You would start enjoying going to work a lot more. The third thing I want you to do to enrich your life and make it much more successful is to set goals for yourselves. I am amazed. I had a coaching session last week with somebody and an amazing client of mine, and she said, "You know what? I actually haven't yet thought about my 2015 goals." And this was December. Now, was I alarmed? No, because I know there are lots of people out there, lots of you out there who go through life without goals. And if you're not orientated to be somebody to set goals, then that becomes an easy thing for anybody to happen. It's very easy for that to happen to anybody who is not goal orientated. We must set goals for ourselves and hold ourselves accountable. Because without goals, we just go through life very aimlessly, unsure of what we're doing, where we're going. And that just doesn't make sense, especially when you're in your mid 20s, and even as a teenager, as a matter of fact, when you're a child. The goal of finishing primary school with good grades, the goal to get into a good high school, the goal to get good GCSEs, we should live through life with goals, because goals are like roadmap. They have a direction for you. They help to show you where you are going. And if you don't know where you are going, then you're going to end up where you don't want to go. So we need to have goals for our lives. I'm somebody who's very, very goal orientated. I'm so driven. It has not always just been the case, but I think the older I get, the more goal orientated I get, because I want to achieve certain things so that I can relax a bit. Because there's nothing more sad than when you look around you, and sometimes through no fault of theirs, there are elderly people who seem to have not had the goals in their younger days. And the lives that they're living now are ones that make you feel, oh my goodness, I don't want to be like that. So I'm imploring you to set goals for your life. And goals don't have to be big things, although I am somebody who will encourage you to set big goals as well. So you get the small ones. The goal could simply mean that in 2015, for my life to be more successful, I need to be at work on time. It's a very simple goal. You're going to write it down because you're going to try to get up 10 minutes earlier to get there, on time, so that your boss can see that you can be punctual. A goal could simply be by 2015, I'm going to have enough deposit to pay on my first house. For some people, that's a big goal. But we can have smaller goals, like I'm going to become more respectful to my partner. I'm going to spend more time with my children. I'm going to start helping my partner with the housework. I'm going to invest in a language. I'm going to start picking up a hobby. I'm going to do something that makes me have me time. Goals can be small as I'm just going to listen more. But then they also can be very big. Don't be afraid to dream big. I'm going to become an architect. I'm going to go and study medicine. I am going to work in the stock exchange. I'm going to be a motivational speaker. I am going to go out there and capture my seat at the table at the top. There's nothing wrong with that goal. So please don't be afraid to set goals. They don't have to be big, and they don't have to be small either. That's the third point. The fourth point I want to have you look at implementing in your life for 2015 to make sure your life is more enriching and successful is to have or adapt the right or correct mindset. Now, having the correct mindset is essential for any of us to function. An unsound person, for example, cannot focus properly, cannot function properly, because their mindset is not right. But you listening to this today, you have got a good mind. So let's not waste the thought process and make sure we align it with the right mindset. And you might say, what does she mean by the right mindset? Is looking at life from a mindset of understanding your capabilities, of seeing things, in positive ways rather than everything being negative. Is seeing is not seeing the obstacles first, but you see the solutions. Is being able to identify how I can make this better rather than complain about how bad it is all the time. And if we adapt the correct mindset, you will be amazed at how you can go out there and conquer the world and tap into your greatness. The fifth point I want to leave you with is that you must let go of negative friends and relationships. I don't need to point as to who those are in your life, because you are far too cognizant. You are too aware of the people in your life that are not good for you, the people in your life who are not helping you to focus and walk in the right path or do the things that ought to take you to that elevated point of greatness. You know who they are. Everybody can stop and identify the people in their lives that are not good for them. I can do that. But what I've learned to do, and I've done and I continue to do, is to let go of those people. Anybody who I think is not good for me in a positive way, and it might sound cold, I start distancing myself from them, or I just let them go totally. And sometimes it's a harsh thing to do, but you have to weigh up the pros and the cons and see what is best for you. I cannot determine what's best for you. You are the best person to do that. But let's look at some simple scenarios. If you want to buy a house in 2015, for example, and you are friends with John, for argument's sake, and John is somebody who consistently goes out and parties and clubs and goes to Ibiza and jumps on the plane to California or go to Las Vegas just to gamble, then let me ask you the question, because I don't need to answer it for you. You can mull this over in your head. Is he the right person for you to start spending a lot of your time with? Do you think you'll have the deposit for the house if you hang around him? I didn't think so. So why not start associating with people who are in the same zone as you, the same space as you, having the same thought process and ideas and goals and objectives, but ambition? Because some of the people around us just really lack ambition. And the moment they start seeing you starting to dig deep and start finding the ambition, then whoa, 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 whoa. You think you're better than us, right? You're trying to think that you're better than us. Or what's wrong with Ava? Or she suddenly thinks that she's nice. And you become criticized. You start to suddenly feel isolated sometimes. But that's okay too. Because sometimes these negative people can make it so much easier for you. Because sometimes not all of us have the courage to say, "Oh, Jane, you know what? I think that this year I'm gonna." No, we can't do that. So sometimes when they start withdrawing from us, is God answering our prayers? So my point for you there is to say, let go of negative people. That is my fifth point to you. My sixth point to you is just stop worrying so much about everything. You can't change some things in your life by worrying. As a matter of fact, worrying solves absolutely nothing. Why not try to use that worry time and turn it around? Give it a flip, a 360-degree flip, and start trying to find solutions to the problems that have got you so worried. And let's see, I used to be a worrier. I worried about everything and nothing. I worried about if I can't pay the bills. I worried about my daughter's childcare when she was younger. Today, my daughter is almost 17 years old. She has survived. We have both survived. I used to worry. I used to panic. I used to worry that social service is going to take her away because I was just juggling, running from teaching to picking her up from school. And, just it was manic. Childcare problems. It was manic, manic, manic. I used to worry about paying the mortgage. There were months when I wasn't sure. I used to worry about petrol in the car. There were days when I drove it on E. I used to worry about a partner. And then I got married twice, and guess what? It never worked out. So I stopped one day and thought, what's the point in worrying about these things? If I don't have money to pay the mortgage, what am I going to do? Is worrying and killing myself going to bring the money? No, that's going to bring more problems on my children. They're going to be motherless if I continue to worry. So why not just find other ways of saying, okay, how about trying to find an additional job to help pay the bills? How about trying to do something like getting foreign students in your house to get some extra money? It's finding a solution. I cannot keep worrying about everything in life because that is not going to give me a. So, stop worrying so much because worrying essentially is going to deplete your life. It's not going to improve the situation. It's not going to make your judgment clear. And when your judgment is not clear because you're so worried, sometimes we make irrational decisions. So, when I was growing up in Jamaica, there was a little song when we went to Sunday school, and it used to say, and you don't have to be biblical to get the message from here. It says, why worry when you can pray? Now, if you're biblical and you're religious, then you can take that. Why worry when you can pray? But if you're not religious, why not adapt the song to say, why worry when you can plan? So let's start planning rather than worrying. I like that. Let's plan rather than worry, because when we plan, at least we're looking and we're bouncing off ideas and possibilities, and we are putting our minds in a zone of defeating the worry process and the worry hormones and the worry enzymes and the worry everything. And we're saying, you know what? I'm going to try and be a problem solver here because the world lacks problem solvers. So, do you know that sometimes in our deepest moments when we're worrying or when things are really hard is when we come up with some amazing solutions? Yeah, I know. Sometimes when things are hard and tough. I remember back in 2004, I think it was, and things were rough. Life was hard. I had a job. But as you probably know about London, is that no matter how much you make, it's one of the most expensive cities in the world. And so I was juggling being a single mother. I was juggling sharing my house with a flatmate to cover the mortgage. And I was juggling some cleaning work, but I still couldn't cover the bills. And so I sat down in one of my quiet times rather than worrying. I started asking myself, what can I do to bring some extra income? And I had the worry mongers saying to me, oh, you can't do anything. The things you can do, you can't do them because England has so many regulations. And sometimes fear can make us worry, and fear can hold us back from even trying to do some of the things that we would probably have breakthrough on. And so I sat there and I thought about the fact that, well, I'm really good with my hands. I can bake, I can cook, I can sew. And I thought, what can I do that's going to be easy to turn around? And you know what I did? I thought, you know what? I don't care how many regulations we have in England. I'm going to try. So I got up from my flat and I approached one of the major off license, and I said to the guy, look, I did the pitch, because I used to sell mangoes, so I was quite equipped to pitch him. And I gave him the pitch that I'm really good at selling, and I'm not gonna, ask him to buy up front, but I'm quite happy to bake some rock cakes and some Jamaican, confectionaries. And I was asking him just for the opportunity to put them in his shop. And I would come around every week or every 2 weeks, depending on what they were. And if they did not sell, I would take them back. And would you believe it? He accepted. I was so happy. Now, I cannot sit here and tell you that I made a lot of money from that because that would not be true. But what I did and what I had from that, I had spare money coming in that I would not have had ordinarily, and I was able to use that to cover those some of the expenses in the house. Now, if I sat there and just killed myself with worry, then I would not have been able to at least bring in an extra pound into the household. So I want to say to you today to stop worrying so much, because worrying is not going to help you with anything at all. It's not going to help you. It's not going to take you anywhere. It's not going to solve your problem. It's not going to do anything but stress you out. So stop worrying. So let's recap. Number one is discover your purpose. Number two, follow your passion. Number three, set your goals. Number four, have the right mindset. Number five, surround yourself with the right people. Number six, stop worrying so much. And number seven, I want you to get yourself a mentor. Number seven is get yourself a mentor. Now, or a coach. We all need a mentor. We all need a coach. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, yeah, but those are expensive. Yeah, but we can't afford it. You know what? Sometimes for us to maximize our greatness and get to where we ought to go, we've got to invest in ourselves. We can go out and we can buy Sky TV. We can go out and we can buy iPads. We can go out and we can buy the best Nike. We can go out and we can buy the best holidays. Why can't we go out and buy the best coach, the best mentor to help us align our mindsets to be great so that we can make enough money to afford all the other things? Because if we don't fix ourselves, we will not be able. You can go on all the holiday you want because you come back as miserable as you went. You can buy all the trainers in the world because no matter how much you wear them, you're going to still feel sad and outcast and alone and destitute and frustrated. Because the problem is not physically outside, it's internally. The problem is you and your mindset and how you need to be enriched and successful. So I would say to you, number seven is you need to get a coach or get a mentor. This could be from your church. This could be from a coach like myself. This could be from a friend. This could be from an organization. This could be from your workplace. I don't care where you get it. Get a coach because a coach is good to help us focus, guide us, give us direction, and align our mindset to be successful, which is what we ultimately all want to be in our lives. Number eight is to believe in you. Believe in yourself. If you do not believe in yourself, then nobody will. I repeat that. If you do not believe in yourself, then nobody will believe in you. I cannot tell you to believe in yourself and you just do it. Because you have got to want to believe in yourself to actually implement it so that when I say believe in yourself, you don't just listen to me say it, but you actually act upon it. So you have to believe in yourself. And many of us walk around every day and we do not believe in ourselves because sometimes it's from our backgrounds, sometimes it's from our childhood where we grew up in families where we were not nurtured. We were not shown love. We were not shown anybody around who was positive and role models. And I mean, I can identify with that. If I were to become the woman that I probably would have been from the community I grew up in, we wouldn't have been having this connection. We wouldn't be in this space because I grew up in a background where I didn't see any role models around me. I didn't see anybody trying to even be any speaker or anybody trying to be any teacher, a lawyer, a priest, or a doctor. I didn't see any of that. What I saw was girls having babies, girls engaging in activities that were not productive. That's what I saw around me. I used to sell mangoes on the train. So, that's my story. But I believed in Ava Brown and I believed that there was more in me or there was more that I could do. And based on that belief, I plummeted into, just pushing anything I could dig from down there. I literally plummeted here. Don't mean you're going to fall necessarily, but I dug deep. I plummeted into myself and dug out all I could find to believe in myself. When people around me didn't want to bother couldn't see. I believed in me. And yes, as time went on and as I grew and I became more mature and I started displaying some skills and attitudes that were positive, towards self belief, others around me started to believe in me. But the reality is that regardless of even if the queen believes in you, the kings of the world believe in you, your teachers, your lawyers, your doctors, your friends, your children, your husband, it doesn't matter, your pastor, Jesus himself could believe in you, and you do not believe in yourself, then nothing will happen. So you have got to stop, acknowledge, respect, appreciate, love, adore, honor, reward you by believing in yourself before anybody else can do that. And if everybody else is doing it, but you are not showing, radiating that self belief, then you'd have wasted a very, very long part of your life. So let us recap on the first part of the 21 keys to a more enriching and successful life in 2015 and beyond. You must discover your purpose in life. You have to know what you're here for. You have to understand what is your purpose, because without knowing your purpose, you're essentially lost. Then you also must follow your passion. Do something you enjoy doing. I love to drive, so any job that comes up that takes me driving, I mean, not so much in England, but probably back home in Jamaica where you had long country road, great sunshine, beautiful weather. You can stop on the road and buy some peppered prawns. But I still love driving, so I take the opportunity when I get them in England to go for long drives. My children love it as well. So I would love a job that takes me driving when the traffic is not bad, of course, definitely. So discover your purpose, follow your passion, set goals. If you don't set goals for yourself, then you are going to be directionless, and there's nothing as worse as not knowing where you are going. The other point is let go of the negative friends and relationships around you and surround yourself with people who are in the same zone and space with the same focus, with the same mindset, with the same ambitions as you are, because they can only help to elevate you rather than drag you down to their level. The other point I want you to do is to stop worrying so much. Worrying changes nothing. Worrying doesn't make life any better. Worrying doesn't change the problem. Rather than worrying, start finding solutions. Rather than worrying, sit down and find a way. Rather than worrying, see the problem from a different angle. Worrying is not going to solve your problem, so stop worrying so much and try to find a solution. Trying to find a different way of seeing it, a different way of trying it, and you might just surprise yourself, because there are problem solvers out there and there's a different solution for every problem we worry about. The next thing I would love you to do in order to enrich and make your life successful moving forward is to have the right mindset. Without the right mindset, all of what we're doing here on earth is a waste. You have to adapt the correct mindset. You have to start seeing the glass half full rather than half empty. You've got to start seeing the good things that are happening in your life rather than just the bad things. You've got to celebrate the successes. You've got to find the good things. You've got to align your mind with a positive thought process that's going to lift you up, elevate you, and set you forward to be enriched and successful. The other thing you have got to do in order to ensure that your life goes in the right direction is to believe in yourself. No matter how many people around you believe in you, like I said before, unless you see yourself as special, unless you see yourself as worthy of being believing or being believed by people, then there's no point. Unless you are radiating that self belief and that self confidence that, you know what, hello, Ava Brown is here and I know my value, I know my worth. I know who I am, and I know that I am great, and I know that I'm destined for greatness, and I know that I'm special, and I know that there's absolutely nothing that is impossible because I believe in myself. Then nobody will believe in you. So you have got to start showing people how you want to be treated in terms of your confidence, your expectations, your own belief, but the way you carry yourself around with the shoulders stand tall. Take those shoulders off the ground, stand tall, and believe in yourself. And guess what? Others around you will believe too. I know my worth. I know who I am, and I know that I am great, and I know that I'm destined for greatness, and I know that I'm special, and I know that there's absolutely nothing that is impossible because I believe in myself. Then nobody will believe in you. So you have got to start showing people how you want to be treated in terms of your confidence, your expectations, your own belief, but the way you carry yourself around with the shoulders stand tall. Take those shoulders off the ground, stand tall, and believe in yourself. And guess what? Others around you will believe too.